Oh, welcome you guys.
Several years ago.
Well, of course, I'm not gonna have you make my judgment. Thank you for visiting.
I don't know what you would like to see you. Something that you might reach out of you and the states or use.
Let's combine all of them in one. I think that's your assigned seat.
It's a great way to learn how to leave it, so enjoy her. Where did you try the extra? There he goes. There's Mr. Happy Hours.
You can go ahead and sit right. No worries. Give me.
And the first thing a number of people on that wasn't the beginning.
Kenny does not work for John's case.
Or
I think I have one in the car.
I'm separate goals today. Really busy. OU dollar. But, one verse. For Saturday. Yeah, everyone please do another one. Every weekend. Fair enough.
So I put together a fundraiser for Big Smile. It's running around. So I'm doing this portraits, that has, and donating part of the session fee of everyone to Big Smiles. And then, probably in January, I'm going to do the my volunteer letter to my time, and I also have arranged a professional makeup artist to come. This is portraits, or if you know, portraits of the people. We're not meeting next week for the Thanksgiving holiday, so enjoy your time with family, friends. Then the 27th, we're going to have district governor on come and do a club visit to us. So make sure you all attend that meeting. That'll be really great to hear about her organization, what she's done in the district. So far, and then we have Dr. Benjamin Beating from North Carolina He's also a professor, and he will talk to us about fisheries across North Carolina and how fisheries play a role in national security. So I'm really opposed to learning opposed to the just for 11, that is Monday, but our holiday luncheon, which is one of our premier events for the year, is on Wednesday, the 13th of December. That will be from 11:45 to 1 at the Carolina Country Club. Thank you, Telehacker, for reserving that for us. And we'll have some items of fellowship. They will be fantastic outside. We'll have one of our normal business meetings at 12:30 to 1. And then have a partner show for that's going to perform for us this year. Always for tonight called Never 4. And I'll finish up with it's a great event. We're going to have an e-bike coming out this week for that. You can bring one guest for free, and any additional guest other than your one is $40. So please mark your calendars, let your partners spouse, and pray to know you want to bring them as a really good time. And we will be collecting oyster pots. Warner helps us organize that each year, so bring them what to have on purple work out the way to the week. This week we have time for new team neighbor and Lake Tommy has a special program for us.
So I think what I'm going to do is whatever.
A little bit more as well as that same thing. Really, who I was doing
We told him to stay right there. Like if you come up, it's fine.
Yeah, parking lot, and you call it relative.
Oh. Certainly.
So, when you think about your last little project, and you can push the table, be able to other items. It will not be dull. Okay, Tiffany, our time. For a full winner, it's gonna get $30 and a copy of the street punishment.
Was I here?
Five, three, two.
Wow. How much money are you putting in there? Right.
Yeah, that's my mother.
Congratulations.
Next week it's yours. Are we here next week?
So it's a retransmission month, and we, have something you can tell us about.
I don't know. They can come with that. Running a program where you can make points. They're going to be able to. Points, be able to. Another person. We've actually been, stepping forward as well. And, really, gonna, Jeremy. Or you could just. And Corey and, we stated that we have two restaurants, this Corey. Hello, people. I was congratulating our two viewers for our stuff. I have
Good for
database. Make others also the forehouse close. The goal is 100% forehouse closed. Every club we do one which will consider joining us. So if you don't know the points, see me, I'll be able to find out and get back to you and let you know. So we can keep that full focus. I'm so good.
Don Gates and Linda Montague, could you come up with a little? So we have a lot of appreciation for you both. First of all, John, thank you so much for your and Jennifer's hospitality to taking it so far. And Don's gonna talk a little bit about our fundraiser and then very, very successful fundraiser. Thanks to you, and some little flowers for you. Thank you. And then Linda, for these fundraisers go a lot of work, and Linda does a lot of work behind the scenes. And puts in a lot of hours for it, and we would not be able to do these or have the weekly meetings without her. So I would love to give both of them a big round of applause. A little holiday. So thank you both so much. And John,
We'll put our best foot forward and we'll go forward. And believe it or not, guys, all of you guys are coming together to support this. And I'm doing whatever. I realized for the last few years. Got a good idea. How old is the team? Put it out there, we have people to talk. There are a lot of everything that will step forward. And for the people here that step forward and got convictions, that get the funding, training, it was a great success on our organization.
Update, you can see some of the photos from the event. Sue Key took a lot of beautiful photos. We have those on our website and social media. That you can see some people gathering at the farm. The middle one is like all the peace fellows that were Michigan, and then the one on the right is all the veterans. So thank you everybody for all of your support. Really great. Third Avery, time for service and Heavenly Father, you're gonna do no rain, I believe.
This guy is greater. This is a week. Get out on the fight. One organization, and actually a couple weeks ago, I think they were right in my next spot, we try to do that way as 10 to watch. Organization. And you know, unless you get a person, they don't probably be right there, and probably connect in the house. I found them last week and then all PTO during the dinner, so I try to keep up the kid and be this rotary. Hopefully,
Okay, Bill, you already got the first two slots filled, Bill and I signed those. We're covered there, but we're bringing from November 27th to December 23rd. Now, normally we finish on the Christmas Eve, but since it's not a Sunday this year, we ring Saturday, Monday through Saturday. We don't ring on Sundays. So Christmas, the last Saturday, which is December 23rd, I've set up on the slot. So those are usually families that want to ring. I know there's about 80 Rotarians in this club that historically ring that bell with their families. I'm one of those. I'll help with both doors because I'll have 8 of my family members out there. I'll ring the bell for 2 hours. That's just a special day. So you'll see a different type of sign up when you get to the last day. There'll be 2 doors and hour slots. There's no overlap, so those are out on them. But this is the big prize. Besides helping the Salvation Army, which is the most important, there's a pride thing here going for the Rotary of Raleigh. This bell right here represents, it's sort of like, it's that bell call between UNC and Duke, you know, okay, there you go. This is the equivalent of that between Rotary clubs. So the highest earning Rotary club, the one that raises the most money during the bell run, gets to retain this bell until the next year. We have had this now for the past year, and we want to keep it. Cary Rotary Club used to die, but we figured out a way to do better, and we have done better. Last year, we did phenomenal. I'm really proud of you guys. So count on you again to help us keep this bell and keep it ringing. Thank you.
Hey, Gary, can I say something?
Yes.
If sign would have, like, we're gonna be like, right, we can get the cabin, and then dump a couple of put it into the cabin. That can be the cabin, and we'll make sure a lot of people do that. You know, I forgot that.
So if you didn't hear what Bill just said, if you write a check to the Salvation Army every year, way to do that, to get it to Kevin or to Bill, because that will be counted towards the Rotary Club of Raleigh's, how much money we raise. So thank you very much. And I believe Richard, he stepped out, has issued a challenge, Kevin, that he's gonna surpass or equal the number of hours. So I think what we're gonna do this year is track the number of shifts each Rotarian works, and the one who does the most will get some prize yet to be determined. Okay, last thing for December, I got cornered at my church the other day by these 3 feisty senior ladies. They're all sisters, and they run something called the Senior Network, which works to network or put seniors in contact with different service providers in the area. I like to joke, one of them chased me down on her walker and she kind of got me in a corner and she said, "You're going to have a Rotary booth at our candy cane stroll, right?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am," as I was brought up to do. So we're going to have a Rotary Club of Raleigh info booth at the candy cane stroll, which takes place in early December. It'll be December 2nd of this year, Triangle Town Center. I'll be there all day, but if you want to come and check it out and help sit at the booth, you're welcome to. At 10 a.m. they walk around the mall, and it's a very leisurely stroll as the people in front are in walkers and scooters and canes. So it's a sweet event. It's a lot of fun, and we will get the word out about Rotary Day. All right. Membership update, we have our last service social of the year this Wednesday, November 15th, and that will be here at our Rotary, Tobacco Road, be from 5:30 to 7, and please bring snacks for kids. They are in desperate need of those this year. The ones that we have been giving have already gone for those, so please bring snacks for kids. As always, and here are some membership updates and membership ideas. Hey, birthdays and anniversaries, we've got a few today. Happy birthday to Peach Tony, I did not see him come in, it's his birthday today. Narda Moat on the 18th, Bonnie Elam on the 20th, and Rick Elmore on the 26th. And happy anniversary to Sandra and John Long. Okay. So with that, it is time for our main speaker, and Mr. Keller, gonna do our intro.
Well,
Everybody, we've got a great speaker today. If you guys haven't already had a chance to meet Morgan, she is all of energy. If you were somebody who was trying to stop people from suicide, this looks like the face that I would put with that mission. So if you haven't heard of her, I think you're in for a treat. I'm gonna present a little bit of her bio, and we'll have us start speaking. So Morgan has over a half decade of experience with fundraising professionally. Previous to joining Stop Soldier Suicide, she worked for the Virginia Aquarium, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Anybody go to the Virginia Aquarium? Anybody? All right, so not a simple.
it's okay.
And she has years of experience as a volunteer for the American Cancer Society. Currently, her role at Stop Soldier Suicide is a donor account executive, where she's implementing and overseeing the best practices and strategies for revenue growth. Since she started in June of 21, she's focused on building relationships, providing meaningful updates on the work of Stop Soldier Suicide, and having an impact on saving veterans' lives, obviously. She loves the impact of the work that they do, has a strong passion for both the role that she plays and the work that gets done as a result. Personally, Morgan just got married in March, her husband did. And they've been here in Raleigh for just over a year after moving from the beach where she was buried. Morgan's also the granddaughter of Army veterans and the niece of a Navy veteran. If you guys would please tell me welcome Morgan.
Thanks, Tommy, for the introduction, and thanks, Richard, for introducing me to the club and the reason why I'm here today. So, the clicker right here. Okay. Get that going. Oh.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Technical difficulties. All right. Well, as I said, I'm with Stop Soldier Suicide. We're a nonprofit organization based in RTP, right outside of Oxnard is where we're headquartered. But we actually serve nationally across the country. So with Veterans Day being this past Saturday, would love to have any veterans or active duty service members stand up and give you guys a round of applause. I know I mentioned one earlier. Don't be shy. Perfect. Love to see that. Well, today I'm going to be talking to you about our organization, Stop Soldier Suicide, and what we're doing in this space. So to start, and it's a little hard to see here on the screens, but our vision is a nation where service members and veterans are at no greater risk of suicide than anybody else. And our mission is to reduce this military suicide rate using enhanced data insights, focused client acquisition, and intervention services. And that would be a 40% reduction in the military suicide rate by 2030. So that's our overall goal here. And I wanted to share a little bit of the impact that we've had over the previous year in 2022. As you can see here, our top 5 states providing care were in Georgia, North Carolina, California, New York, and Florida. We've provided over 17,000 hours of care, served over 1,400 veterans and service members, and had a 23% year-over-year increase in our clients that we acquired. So here are some other statistics for you about the work that we've done and the results of those. 97% of our graduates reporting stabilizing outcomes and an increase in their personal well-being and a suicide reduction risk as well within their first 30 days of getting care with Stop Soldier Suicide. We still have a long way to go despite those results. So as you see up here, there are some staggering statistics within military suicide amongst our nation. Veterans are 50% more likely to die by suicide than non-veteran peers. More than 6,000 veterans die by suicide each year. And suicide rates for 18 to 34-year-old male veterans have increased 86% since 2006. So that is why I'm here today to talk to you about what we do at Stop Soldier Suicide and how we're working towards our mission that I shared on the previous slides. So at Stop Soldier Suicide, what do? We provide mental health care to veterans and service members in need, regardless of discharge status, regardless of how long you served, and regardless of whether you're active duty or a veteran. We have wellness coordinators, or what we call them, who are providing that care to our veterans and service members. So they're the real superheroes doing this work. There are licensed clinicians, master's degree or higher, who are really well trained in providing mental health support. Everybody who comes into our care, the wellness coordinators go through a lot of training prior to just jumping into caring for our clients. So they go through about a month's worth of training. There we go. A month's worth of training on the program model that we've designed with the help of our scientific advisory council. So that is comprised of PhDs and experts in suicidology and in the military space who have created the program and that we're using to care for our veterans and service members. It's been a lot of people who put a lot of time into this space, so we know taking the best practices of each of them and putting it together. We know, as you saw before with the statistics of our results, that what we're doing is working. And I will shout this out, knock on wood afterwards, because it makes me nervous always saying it, but to date, we have served over 4,000 clients since the inception of our organization and have lost 0 to suicide. So knock on wood, but a round of applause for that. So really proud to share that, and we know that what we're doing is working. However, this brings me to this slide, Roger, that you're seeing, and you're probably like, what's Roger? We found from speaking with current clients and people who are active duty or veterans that the name Stop Soldier Suicide doesn't always resonate. You know, I'm sure there are people out in the audience who stood up that might have been a Marine or in the Navy or part of the Air Force who consider themselves a soldier. And so what we did was we kind of rebranded our wellness center service to be called Roger. Roger is a well-known term used across the military. I hear you, I see you. And really, we found that we could resonate with even more people by offering this being called Roger. So we're still Stop Soldier Suicide, but our wellness center has officially rebranded as of October 10th to Roger. So you can see here, this is just a little bit about what kind of made us make that change. So we, as I said, Stop Soldier Suicide can be a blocker for those who are high risk of suicide and in need of help. Also with healthcare branding, a lot of that's going human and being more humanized and approachable. And so that's how we came up with Roger after a lot of different testing. And in May of 22, Roger was launched. Like I said, we were super successful with that, and October 10th officially became Roger for our wellness services. So you can see up here is a lot friendlier of a brand. People really resonate with it when they see the ads to reach out to get help if they are in need. So a little bit about that. And also too, I think just recognizing that, you know, people are different and people want different care, and stop soldier suicide being a barrier. We want to do everything that we can to reach those over 6,000 veterans and service members dying by suicide each year. And that's where this was born out of. That also brings me to the Black Box Project. So 6,000 veterans and service members dying by suicide each year is what we're looking to fix. And another way that we are looking to do that is through our Black Box Project. So much like the black box of an aircraft, where if a plane crashed back in the day, there'd be the black box to be able to tell you what happened leading up to that crash. That's what our Black Box Project is doing, but with military suicides. So what we're doing is working with families of lost survivors, so those who died by suicide, and using those devices to find data insights and trends on what is happening in the days, weeks, months leading up to their death. So generously, these families are, you know, taking a part of their loved one and donating it to us to be able to analyze this data and to see where can we put ads that we currently aren't putting ads to reach more people and more people that are at high risk of suicide. So you can see here we have some partners on our project with us: AWS, Magnet Forensics, Oxygen Forensics, Celebrate. These are companies and people who are trained in the military that use these forensics and that are forensic analysts. So they're well trained, they know what they're doing, and we're going to be able to use this to identify patterns of people leading up to their suicide to get help before it's too late. And I'm excited to share with you too, earlier this year, our Black Box Project was awarded a Grand Challenge winner of the VA's Mission Daybreak Challenge. So Mission Daybreak was a challenge that the VA put out earlier in 2022 to basically a cry for help that they needed help in this space, and what they're doing to prevent suicides wasn't working by themselves, so they need help. Stop soldier suicide was one of 1,300 applicants to go in the initial process of Mission Daybreak, and then we were one of 30 to move into the second round, which included interviews and presentations at the White House with people there, and we were one of 2 awarded the Mission Daybreak Challenge, which was $3 million towards our Black Box project. So super excited about that to help us further the great work that we're doing within Black Box and to help continue to reach the veterans and service members. And here again, what will we learn? We'll learn better understanding of what are those causes leading up to their suicide. Identify those patterns and warning signs and flags. 60% of our current clients come to us through our digital marketing tactics. So we're putting ads out there and people are coming to us. We know that that is working, but how can we continue to reach those people and better target those ads? One finding that we've seen so far from the over 60 devices that we have collected from over 100 devices collected from over 60 families that have shared them with us. A lot of times people leading up to their death, you know, your phone is on your side always. You're always searching things. Your phone probably knows more about your life than your spouse. I know an example I always use: if my husband knew how much stuff I put in my Amazon cart, he'd be pretty alarmed. Luckily he doesn't, but my phone knows that. My phone has all of that insight. And you know, one thing that we're finding is people really question their faith leading up to their suicide. So different Google searches. So that's one thing where we're like, okay, we can, you know, use that as information to let's put ads out there when people question, is God real? Is there, you know, what is my faith? And I am important, da da da. then we can better reach those people in those moments leading up to their death before it's too late to reach out to them. That's just one example of the findings so far, but at the end of this year, we're hoping to put more out there about the findings of Black Box Project to date. And here is a graph that shows our goal and where we have to go. So up here, you will see that the blue line on the top is where we're headed with our current goal to bring down the military suicide rate by 2030. I know it's hard to see up on the screen. The gray line on the bottom of that, the left-hand side, is if we accelerate in the blue shaded area, if we can accelerate the work that we're doing and reach even more people faster, those are the additional lives that we can save each year by being able to do this work faster. And that will put us up reaching our goal by 2026. So that is the opportunity that we have. Those are the lives that we can save. And here are some of the faces of those from the Black Box Project. Part of why I wake up every day doing the work that I've been doing for the last 2.5 years. These are the faces of those that we've lost to military suicide. I don't want there to be any more that we put up there. So I appreciate your time today and hearing a little bit more about stop soldier suicide and the work that we're doing, and invite any questions. Yes.
Well, as an engineer, I looked at your graph. It looked like your goal is really to get it down to 4,000. You don't feel like you can get it lower than that?
So our goal is to bring the military suicide rate to that of the civilian suicide rate. So that would help us reach our goal that no veteran or service member is at a higher risk of dying than anybody else by suicide. So it wouldn't completely reduce the military suicide rate over, or wouldn't get rid of military suicide, but it would reduce that. Yes.
What prevention or intervention models have you discerned and worked best?
Yeah, we use CAMS as part of our therapy options, BCBT, case approach. So there's a lot along those lines that, as I mentioned, from our suicide, from our scientific advisory council, that they've, helped, those are the people that help create those practices that have let us use those program models in our practice. So a mix of all of that. We try to focus on as well holistic therapies. A lot of times clients come to us, they're on a cocktail of medications. They're, taking 10 different things, and we try to also look at that to see how can we reduce that and also helping them reduce their suicide risk. Yes.
I was gonna ask, of course, really impressive stuff. There's a lot of really complex data analytics behind this, so I think that's really impressive. Where do you guys get that talent from? Is that all internal, or are you guys using partners for that?
No, so we're a veteran-founded organization. Our founders were 3 Army veterans who were deployed, didn't lose any of their battle buddies to combat, came home, slowly started losing them 1-to-1 by suicide. So we're veteran-founded, we're also veteran-led. Our CEO was a career Air Force veteran, and we also have a lot of veterans on our team, military spouses and family members of those. So we honestly get a lot of our talent from there, and we have a really great team. I'm also proud to say last year we had, while we're a small organization of only about 80 people, we had over 4,000 job applications for jobs that we were posted for. And we get back to each and every one of those people, whether they move through or whether they don't. So lots of talent out there that we've been able to connect with. Yes.
So one of your stats, I believe, was talking about the rate for males 18 to 30 or something, increasing normally. Females different. We have to serve in the military and so on.
Yeah, so I think just overall, there's a higher amount of males that are in the military, so that is what I think that statistic comes from of males being at that greater risk because there are more of them in general, so it automatically skews that number. Yes.
Are there any partnerships with, say, Wakeman or some of the local hospitals?
So we have a whole partnership team that is working with other nonprofits and organizations. We are 100% focused on suicide-specific care. With that, a lot of times clients need, service animals, or maybe they're having an issue with their housing, then they need housing support. So we partner with organizations so that if we do have a client in need of certain things, that we have trusted organizations that we know focus on veterans and that we can give as a resource to them. We also recently partnered with Atrium Health so that their providers can be trained in what are the warning signs of suicide. If somebody is a veteran or military member, they can refer them to us to further their care. Yes.
So understanding that the population of at-risk soldiers and so forth is certainly large enough. We're trying to reach everybody, but also kind of thinking about a similar at-risk population with first responders.
Mm-hmm.
And those suicide rates. Has there been any discussion? Again, it was like Mission Creek, but any discussion about expanding to include those, or are you aware of it?
Yes, so lots of possibilities that can happen. Obviously, we know that the program model that we're using is working. Eventually, we would love to, open that up to first responders and, even civilians as well going down the road. But currently, we're focused on our mission to reduce the service member and military suicide rate. So, I know you mentioned there's a lot of veterans out there. So what's different about us too is that we're targeting those who are at risk. So we're not focused on reaching every single veteran out there. We're not here to serve every single veteran. We want to find those who are part of that 6,000 that are dying each year by suicide so we can reach that cohort. So with the data insights and the different research our team has done, that's how we're placing those digital ads in those certain places to reach those at high risk of suicide.
Point of their data analytics that you have access to, are you diving into the demographics to find if there is a subset group who is more at risk than others?
So we track all of that information on the clients that we serve and other clients as well who are at high risk, and the demographics and all of that as well. So happy to provide more information following this to you all. Yes.
So you identify that set, you have a target soldier base. How do you get to them?
So like you said, 60% are coming in through that digital advertising. The other 40% often come through referrals or have just seen us in other ways through brand awareness and reaching out to us through there. We also are trying to grow our presence on military bases. We have a lot of volunteers who are great and can go on bases on our behalf to promote and share about Stop Soldier Suicide. I had the pleasure to go to Fort Carson earlier this year and talk to 160 MPs about our mission a lot, and the captain of that battalion actually said that's the #1 thing that active duty soldiers, and at least in his unit, were looking for this year was more resources on mental health. So, just through that and through hearing about us from a friend or family member, that's where some of them are coming to us from. Yes.
You say different marketing strategies for like particular demographic groups.
So we do, and that kind of goes hand in hand with your question too. I know about the demographics, and we do use different tactics for different demographics of people, also in different areas and locations. What we do in our advertising as well is we have a heat map almost of high suicide states and then where veterans are in those states and target based on those things so that we know we're not just Delaware is a very low suicide state, and so we're not gonna spend time and money on those if, you know, there are other places where they need the resource. Yes.
So in kind of like your example of using the data, and seeing that a lot of those individuals were looking at, you know, their faith going into that. So now you have that information, but and then are you using that information coupled with, let's say, Delaware in this specific region is extremely high, then you're putting, you know, your ads where that high population is also targeting to with the influx of searches. Does that make sense?
Correct.
Otherwise, how are you delineating where those are coming from on the service number side versus the congrats?
Yes, so I didn't think your question. Yeah. But we are looking at all of the things to determine where to place those advertisements and where our veterans and service members are. A lot of them on video games or doing things late night and on different apps. So, you know, we're targeting in those specific areas and in those locations, as well as the demographic of those people. Any other questions? I'm happy to, I have cards, so if you have more questions after today, something comes up on your mind later tonight, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'm happy to further connect with you then. So appreciate your time. Oh, one more question. So we are funded completely through individuals, foundations, and corporate partners. The VA grant, although it wasn't a grant, it was a challenge, so it wasn't technically a government grant. So it was just prize money, but most of our funding actually the last couple of years has been through Facebook. So we've done a lot in the Facebook challenge space. So 100-mile runs, 250-mile cycle challenge. So a lot of that has come through Facebook over the last couple of years, and we've been working to diversify that with our team over the last year and a half of, you know, reaching more corporate partners, more individuals and foundations as well. All right, thank you all so much.
Morgan, thank you so much for helping us think more about how we can help veterans and the amazing work that you're doing across the nation. This is just a token of appreciation Rotary mug, and you'll hear us say the 401, which is on the back. So another round of applause when we're going to. All right, before we stand and we're going to do the four-way test, remember to sign up for bell ringing. If you have a favorite shift in time and day, do it now because it might be taken later on. The link is in this week's bulletin, and we'll also post it up on the website. Linda sent an email last week with the link as well. Also be on the lookout for an e-bike for our holiday luncheon, and it is very important that we have an accurate number of RSVPs for that. And with RSVPs in mind, also make sure you're RSVPing for our lunches as well. We need to know how many people will come to the holiday luncheon by December 8th, so be on the lookout for that. So lots of exciting things happening, lots of fun Rotary holiday stuff. So with that, everybody, could you please stand and repeat the four-way test? And the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Meeting's adjourned.
So I called twice, left a voice.